to PFL champs, first Bellator champs, virtual media day. We have Biaggio Ali Walsh making his pro debut. If you have any questions, please use the reactions tab to raise your hand. And Anik, why don't you go ahead and start us off?
Thanks, Tony. Biaggio, good to see you again, my man. I was gonna ask
Thank
a
you. You
question
too.
about your brother, actually. He had a fight in Guinea in December, right? And it wasn't his win wasn't showing up on Wikipedia or boxing record. I was wondering if it was an exhibition or like what was the deal with that?
No, he won that fight, unanimous decision. Um, it was it wasn't a top rank show. I think they I don't know. I think they reached out to Top Rank to see if they could fly Nico out. I think it was some French organization or something like that. But they reached out to Top Rank to see if they can get Nico to come over there to fight for their organization. And yeah, that's I think what pretty much happened.
Got it. And one more question. Saudi Arabia, what's your favorite part of this region of the world?
Oh wow. Um, Everything's so nice. Like it's super cool. The people are very welcoming. As soon as I entered, they had flowers for all the fighters and stuff. So it was super cool. Um, I wish I could kind of like go out and explore a little bit more, but I'm excited to fight here. And that's the reason why I'm here. So yeah, that's I'd say so far the people and the food for sure.
Awesome. Best of luck, my guy.
Thank you.
Hey, Biagio, good to see you again, man. Can you just tell me a little bit about what drove the decision to go pro and some of the conversations that you and your team had to make that decision?
Um, I wanted to see how my last fight would go. I think just the way that I finished the fight, it was kind of like, okay, I think I'm ready to go pro. And then that's when I sat down with my coach and talked to Dennis, and he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So, yeah, it was super simple. After that win, I uh, I ate. That was the first thing I did, and then I sat down with my coach, and that was actually like maybe a week or 2 weeks after. But yeah, I think it was the way that I finished it. Just another knockout. He was knocked out cold too. So I think just the way I finished kind of made me think, okay, I think I'm ready to go pro.
Yeah, and last question. Right before or right after that win, you talked about how cool it would have been for you to go and fight in a place in the Middle East. And obviously, we were aware of the investment by the PIF in the meantime, but or an SRJ. But did you have any inkling that you'd be fighting this soon in the Middle East?
Oh, no idea. Um, I always wanted to fight here in the Middle East. I actually got the call that I would to be on this card when I was in Africa. So just the fact that we're traveling all over the world and my brother fought in Africa and I'm fighting in the Middle East, it's awesome. It's an awesome job. It's a hard job, but I can't see myself doing anything else. But yeah, it's super exciting. Um, I hope to fight here again sometime.
Yeah, well, best of luck.
Thank you.
All right, we'll come back. Jay Christian.
Mr. Ali Walsh, how are you, young sir? Jay Christian Gary at Focus Fights Audio.
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, young man. Just got a couple questions for you. You were originally supposed to face off against a guy from Great Britain in your professional debut. Now you got this 1-0 guy from Argentina. I think it's Emmanuel Palacio, right?
Yes.
Yeah. When it came down to this fight, were you aware of the opponent switch up, or did you think that it was, bound to be that the British guy you were supposed to face was kind of scared of you?
I actually have no idea. It was kind of weird when I woke up and saw the card. I had no idea because usually before a fight, you get like someone like your coach or someone from your team will come to you and give you a name or something. And it was released already without me or my coach knowing. So I thought that that was kind of weird. So we reached out and we ended up just looking and finding a different opponent. But I just thought it was kind of weird because we had no idea like who that person was or where it came from or anything. So we kind of had to just figure it out. That day was kind of weird for me because I was a little confused, but I just kept training and I just let my coach and my team do everything else.
I see, I see. And second and final question I want to ask. You're coming into this fight off of a 6-1 amateur record, most of which have been in the PFL. Just about every single one of your wins has been by finish. Do you think that coming into the professional ranks, you're going to start to feel more nervous, more anxious within every fight as opposed to when you fought as an amateur under the PFL?
Absolutely. You know, I think as I keep fighting, I'm gonna get more nervous I'm always gonna be nervous before every fight. I think that the pressure is definitely gonna get worse and worse as I keep fighting and fighting. But as far as kind of like the stage and the production, the lights, the cameras, the fighting on ESPN, I'm pretty much used to it. You know, I had 5 fights in the PFL, 5 finishes on that kind of stage. So everything that I did in the amateur side of my career was to prepare me for my pro side. And a lot of that is, you know, going from amateur to pro is having to deal with going from kind of like the regional scene or whatnot, and then going to that big show. But I had already had
Mm-hmm.
5 fights on the big show, so yeah, you know, every fight I'm going to be nervous. The pressure is going to get worse and worse, and it's going to elevate. But I welcome all the pressure in the world. You know, I believe pressure creates diamonds. It does, and I hope that, you know, someday I become a diamond with all the pressure that I have.
Well, for one, you damn sure feeling like a diamond right now as you've been doing these interviews. I just hope that you continue to do well and best of skill to you on Saturday
Thank you.
afternoon in the States.
Thank you.
Dylan,
What's up, Biaggio? Congrats on the pro debut, man.
Thank you.
You hinted at it just a minute ago, but how do you believe that the PFL and having 5 amateur fights with them help prepare you for your pro debut?
Oh man, everything lined up perfectly. You know, God's plan's the perfect plan, man. You know, I signed with the PFL when I was 1-1, and after that win, or actually I was going into my first fight of the PFL, I was 1-1, and then the next 5 fights were all PFL. It definitely prepares you, you know, because it takes a long time most of the time to go from you know, fighting in a warehouse on a barn. That was, you know, my last fight before I went to the PFL, to going to that kind of stage. You know, it was in Southern Utah, and then the next one was in Madison Square Garden, you know, so that's a big jump. And, you know, the PFL has just prepared me for my pro career. It's prepared me for the cameras. It's prepared me for all the interviews. It prepared me to fight on a big stage on ESPN. So just, I'm super grateful for the PFL. I couldn't, you know, thank the company and the organization enough for just giving me the opportunity and seeing potential in me. So yeah, you know, it prepares me a lot. You know, I was talking to one of my buddies, Julian Arosa. He's been fighting for a long time. And he told me that, you know, fighting on that kind of stage is like 10 years worth of experience. He was telling me his story and how long it took for him to go from the regional scene to that kind of stage. So, yeah, it's definitely prepared me.
Definitely. Quick one, another one. What were some of the goals that you set out to accomplish, early on in your pro debut? What are some of the things you're looking forward to doing, early on instead of looking long term?
Oh yeah. You know, for this fight, I'm looking to just be calm, relaxed, use my explosiveness and speed, not brawl. I'm definitely a brawler right now. You know, I swing for the fences. That's something I want to improve on. You know, I'd like to be a little bit more patient, a little bit more picky with my shots. Throw 3 good ones instead of 6 unnecessary throws. But it's kind of like when Gagey was up and coming, and then he saw Trevor Whitman, and Trevor, started coaching him and telling him to be more disciplined and more patient and pick his shots, take some percentage off his shots. That for this fight, that would be my main focus. But for this year, I want to go 4-0. That would be the goal. It'd be great for that to happen. So short term, those are my goals.
Thanks, man.
hmm
Pendleton?
Hey man, thanks for making the time this morning here in the States. Obviously, this question's kind of been asked, but uh, when you're coming into this year, making your professional debut, doing everything that you've already discussed, what are the biggest challenges you face? Obviously, so many people talk about what's happening this year or in this fight, but what are the biggest challenges you think lie ahead throughout your professional career and not just a fight by fight basis?
I think just my name. I get a lot of hate because of who I'm related to and the opportunities and doors that have opened up for me because of it. I had that in high school, with football. Um, Once people found out, Max Preps came out with something when I was in football of who I was related to. To this day, I still don't know how they found out. I was never the one to walk around and tell people who I was related to because one, that's not who I am, and two, they probably wouldn't believe me. But yeah, now that I'm participating in a combat sport, the I think the haters is gonna increase, and I think throughout my career it's gonna increase more and more and more. Um, I would say that mainly just my name. My name in and of itself is gonna bring a lot of haters, and uh, it's challenging. I'm only a human. I can't. I'm not perfect, but I tend to block all of that out. I started doing that when I was 15 years old, and now I'm 25. So I would definitely say I'm used to it.
Last one for me, and I appreciate the time. Just based off what you just said, how do you plan to map out your own fate, your own career, your own destiny? Because yes, obviously being in a combat sport, like you just mentioned, people will go down the bloodline. And as a two-sport athlete and multi-sport athlete, I don't have to tell you, people always want to connect the dots. So how do you plan to lay that legacy out for yourself and leave it as your own?
Yeah, my goals I would say aren't your typical common what your typical or common MMA fighter would say. I gave myself a promise not too long ago actually that I'm going to give myself 25 professional fights and see where it goes. Never will you see me say that I'm fighting for a belt or money. These are things that I don't think that are important in the grand scheme of things. I think what's most important is how you treat people and how you can help people. So I want to get 25 pro fights. I don't care what the record is. It could be 17-8. It could be 20-5. It could be 24-1. I don't care. I just want to be able to have the credentials and be able to sit back and think to myself, well, I did something that I set my mind to. I did something that I never thought that I would do. And, by the end of my career, I hope to be a mentor and help people that might have been in my situation, who didn't know where to go in their life. They might have gotten the short end of the straw when they went to college and was a student athlete or worse. So for me, maybe I say I'm fighting for money once I get a family or something like that, but I'm only 25. But for me, I just want to fight. Yeah, I want to get 25 pro fights. I don't care what the record is. I don't care if I get a belt or not. I just want to be able to sit back at the end of my career and say that I did it.
Euro.
Biaggio, thank you for your time. It's been announced that that Friday, April 12th, will play host to PFL Vegas, a venue at the Virgin Theaters, a venue where you had a lot of success at last year. You received a loud pop from the Vegas community. I know it's kind of a quick turnaround from this card, but you kind of see yourself being on that card, or is it just day by day basis?
Day by day, I would love to fight in Vegas. How clutch is that? Not that much traveling. I could cut weight in my house. Yeah, why not? Hopefully I come out of this fight injury free, and then we see what's next. It'd be great to get on that card because I would like to get 4 fights this year. 4 fights a year is I would say 3 is a lot for your average fighter. So to get 4 is awesome. You know, I just want to get fight after fight after fight. I want to stay busy. And yeah, I wouldn't mind being on that card at all.
And last one for me, what's your message to all the Vegas people that are going to tune in for your fight this weekend?
I'm representing you guys. You know, I grew up in Las Vegas, and you know, when you see me win, you see me knock him out or whatever happens, you know, I'm representing Las Vegas.
Awesome. Thank you, Biaggio.
Marty,
Hi, Biaggio. Just a couple quick ones for myself. You mentioned obviously you wanted to get 4, you want to get 4 fights this year. You were very active last year, managed to get 4 fights, 4 wins last year. How realistic do you actually think that is? Obviously, with going pro now, the level of competition increases, and I believe as well, maybe elbows will be allowed in this fight. Taking that into perspective, do you think that's realistic?
Um, I'm actually not so sure. I think if I if I if I'm injury free, it's very realistic. You know, um, just getting me fight after fight after fight, will definitely help me in building my record and the PFL as well. So, I think getting 4 this year would be great. You know, even if I got 3 this year, you know, that would be great as well. You know, so all I'm doing is I just want to fight. Like I want to get as many fights as I can. You know, 25 is my goal. I'm gonna get 25 fights and then I'm done. So right now is number 1.
Come on. And then the last one from me. There's another chap from, well, he's Saudi national, but he trains out of the UK, Malik Basahil, who's opening the card. And he's opening it as an amateur as well. Obviously, yourself has done that. There's only been a select few. What would you be advised to a fighter like Malik, who is coming into the PFL? A lot of expectation on him, like yourself, there was last year as an amateur.
My advice is this is an amazing opportunity. Take advantage of it. This is only going to prepare you for once you turn pro and the rest of your career. So take advantage and remember, a fight's a fight. You know, it's what you do every single day in the gym. There is no difference. The lights, the camera, the production, the ESPN, all that stuff is all just an illusion. It's an illusion to try to take you out of your mindset and take you away from what's going on, and that's what's going on in the cage. So that I would probably be my advice.
That's brilliant.
Cash,
Hey Biagio, how you doing, man?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm great, man. This is Cash from Money Clip Sports. I got 2 questions for you. You proven doubters wrong every fight. Can you talk about your mindset going into your MMA debut?
My mindset is, you know, I think my mindset kind of improves more and more each fight. You know, definitely the confidence of winning, you know, helps. Um, Going into this fight, you know, I have that confidence, like you said. You know, I've been proving the doubters wrong. I've been winning my fights when people don't believe in me or et cetera. It doesn't matter, but I think just that it's given me more and more confidence the more I win. Going into this fight, I'm just gonna do what I normally do. You know, I'm gonna be the bully. I'm gonna be in your face the whole time. I'm gonna be aggressive and mean and vicious, and they're allowing elbows too. So I'd like to, you know, maybe if I take him down or something like that, I'd open his face up with elbows.
Definitely, man. What do you hope to achieve most in the world of MMA?
Did you say achieve?
Yes, sir. Achieve.
It's a good question. I think just improvement, consistency and improvement is the one thing I want to achieve. Whether I win, lose, or draw, I always want to get better. Um, that was my main thing, you know, consistency and just looking to improve based off of that consistency. So I think that is my main goal. Um, yeah, by the end of my career, I just want to be able to help a lot of people and give them guidance and travel with them. Like say I'm helping fighters and they want me to corner them, you know, and I could give them that opportunity to help them out, you know. So that I'd say is something that I definitely want to achieve.
Definitely. Sounds like a great plan. Good luck to you this fight.
Thank you. Thank you.